And it is my joy and my honor to introduce the next President of the United States, Michael Bloomberg.
I'm never sure whether it's appropriate to kiss the judge. Hello, San Antonio. Monica, thank you. And Judge, I'm so honored to have you here. I'd love to tell you that I watch you all day, every day. I have a few other things to do. But I think there's nobody that this country respects any more than you. There are other people as well, but you really are a great American, and you should be very proud of what you do. And I should point out that your husband's here, Jerry Sherman. Jerry, thank you. I once asked the judge if she'd ever consider serving on the Supreme Court. The president appoints Supreme Court justices. And she said, no, I can't. I said, why? She said, I don't work collaboratively. But I'm honored to have her support anyways. Your Honor, I don't know if this would hold up in a court of law, but they say everything is bigger in Texas. So naturally, we came to Texas to kick off our really big day. We call this day Day One because our campaign is opening its first ever nationwide day of action. We're leading it with thousands of hard-working supporters and volunteers across the country. Today, in 27 different states, the campaign is hosting over 150 events here on one day. And we're doing that because we think the road to victory in November starts right here today. Now, I know Texas Democrats have a rallying cry. Texas is the biggest battleground state. Well, I agree, and we're fighting to win all of your 38 electoral votes. Beto showed that a Democrat can win Texas, but only if you invest time and resources in each and every one of your 254 counties, and that's what we're doing. We are going to finally turn Texas blue. Leave anyone behind. So we opened our first headquarters in Houston last week. We'll open over a dozen more offices all across the state. Last month I went to Sugar Land to knock on doors, and today I will ride the Get It Done Express. Wait until you see the bus. No surprises. And we're going to visit Dallas and Austin as well. Speaking of Austin, let me just say a word on Governor Abbott's announcement yesterday. His decision to refuse all refugees really makes Texas the first state that has taken President Trump up on his heartless and un-American policy. And the America that I know and the America that you know, love just doesn't close its door to refugees who have applied for and been granted permission to come here. I've said 1,000 times, as somebody who comes from a state that takes an enormous number of refugees in, they make our communities stronger. And so this really is a loss for the people of Texas. And I can just tell you, as president, I would immediately rescind President Trump's policy. And I would end his disgraceful attempt to demonize and scapegoat refugees and immigrants. Now, we're calling today Day One of our national campaign because it's our first chance to show just how strong this campaign is growing all across the country. I'll have the opportunity to be our party's nominee, I think, and if I do, I'll lead a statewide campaign that will lift Democrats everywhere. We're going to send more Democrats to the state capitals. We're going to send more Democrats to Congress. And we're going to do it all over this country. Now, people ask me, why aren't you in the debates? It's simple. The party requires donations from 225,000 people, and I've never accepted a nickel from anyone. When I ran for 3 elections in New York, I did the same thing. I'm very lucky in business. I can afford it myself. There's no reason why the public should have to reach into their pocket. They can do some better things, give the money to charity or whatever they want to do. But unlike Trump, Unlike Trump, I've always been independent of special interests, and I hope the party changes its rules. I'd gladly participate in the debates. But if they don't, that's okay too. I'm traveling the country, taking my message directly to the voters. And it's great to be in San Antonio, and thank you for coming out and spending part of your weekend with me. I just want to talk a little bit of politics, if you'll spare me. The question really is, why are we here? We are here to win this election. And I am running to defeat Donald Trump. If you look back in 2016 in Philadelphia at the Democratic Convention, I said that I did not think Donald Trump was the right guy for the office. Actually, I said a little bit stronger than that, but that's okay. But I don't think we can survive 4 more years of Donald Trump in Pennsylvania Avenue. We've just got to get rid of him. Now, also, I'm running because there's something else this country desperately needs. I'm running to unify this country and to get things done. I know how to fix things. I think we need less talk. We need less partisanship, and we need less tweeting. I will make you a commitment right here, right now in San Antonio. When I'm in the Oval Office, no more tweeting. Actually, I can't spell very well, so that's relatively easy to do. Seriously, I have a record of getting things done. As mayor of New York City, there were lots of challenges when I got into office, and I found things like too many people who were uninsured. By the time I left, we reduced the number of uninsured people by 40%. We had improved prenatal and maternal care, and most importantly, we raised life expectancy by 3 whole years in New York City. And I think we can do that across the country. When I got into office, we found the school system just wasn't working. It was worse than I had thought. What did we do? We raised teachers' salaries by 43%, and because of that, graduation rates went up the same percentage. So we really did make a difference for kids. Climate change was a big problem back then. It still is. You only have to look at the television to see what's happening around our world. Donald Trump's a climate denier, but we worked very hard and we reduced New York City's carbon footprint by 14%, which was twice the national average. And so we didn't get where we wanted to be, but we certainly started on the right road. And I do remember when I first got elected, it was only 7 weeks after 9/11. And what we did is we tried to get people to come together. We had enormous help from the citizens of New York, but we had enormous help from the citizens of this country, all throughout the country, and actually around the world. People came to New York's aid. It's something I've always been proud of and happy to say to everybody that I meet, thank you for your help back then. We all benefited from it. With the help of everybody, we created 500,000 new jobs. We created 175,000 units of affordable housing, and we reduced street homeless by 30% during that time. Those were things that were needed, and they needed across this country. Now, I know that America is, yeah, you can applaud. America is not New York. I understand that. But a lot of things that we did in New York showed that we know how to put a team together and focus on making people's lives better and improving this country. And they're applicable all across the country. You have to vary each one for what the local problems are, but it's working together and building a group that can deliver services and that focuses on getting things done rather than just partisan talking. And we brought people from across the country together, and we can continue to do that. And unlike everybody else in this race, I think that the other thing that's so important, I said at the beginning, is beating Donald Trump. And I've got experience. Well, I can tell you how I'm going to do it. I've got experience in beating Donald Trump. He came from New York, and when the people were walking by with Trump signs, I wanted to go outside and say, thank you for supporting a New Yorker. But I didn't.
Are you taking any questions?
No, we're going to take it afterwards, and first from the press, thank you. But let me do. Thank you, and I love the dog. She's got a dog up here with Bloomberg signs on it. And I have a dog at home that looks exactly like that, although I haven't put signs on him. I got to call and have it done right away. Anyways, let me just tell you how I've taken on Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a president who's in the pocket of the gun lobby. And instead of just complaining, I took on the NRA, and the NRA is now in disarray, and they're having fundraising going. I created a gun organization that wants just background checks. Nobody wants to take away anybody's guns, just background checks, called Everytown, and it's got 6 million supporters so far. And we run background check laws and red flag laws in over 20 states already, and we're still going, and we will get it done. We're going to get everyone, maybe not, but we're going to come close to getting all the states done. And I think it's a great gift to all of us. We'll be safer. When I thought about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a climate denier. If he really says that this is not happening, just take a look at on television and look at the fires in Australia and California, and you've had 4 feet of rain one place in Texas here, and we've got storms that we've never seen before all along the coast. The bottom line is we are polluting the atmosphere, and one of the things we've done is so far we've closed 302 out of 530 coal-fired power plants in this country, and that's reduced greenhouse gases around. I'll give you another place where we beat Donald Trump, the tobacco industry. He bows down to the tobacco industry. Well, let me tell you, the tobacco industry is unfortunately hurting our kids, and they'll be addicted for the rest of their lives unless we do something. And not just in cigarettes, now in vaping. We've just got to stop this. They're going after our children. Bad enough adults, but they keep going out. In high schools, teachers will tell you kids are vaping in the classroom when the teacher turns her back. We can't have that. We need a president who doesn't abuse the Oval Office. And we need some oversight. The Constitution says that Congress is supposed to be the oversight for the executive branch. The Republicans weren't doing it when they controlled the House. So we went out, picked 24 potential Congress people who are good on guns, good on climate, supported them, 21 of them won. That's what flipped the House from red to blue. That's what put Pelosi in, and that's what started the impeachment process. Let me just say this. If you want to turn this country around, if you want health insurance for everyone, if you want to combat inequality and have fairer taxes and better jobs, if you share my belief in opportunity for all, not just for a few, if you support my commitment to quality education, if you're ready to clean out the Oval Office and get things done, welcome to Bloomberg 2020. I'm going to shake as many hands as I can before we get going. We're going to 4 cities in Texas today, and I can't be late for anybody, but thank you.